Alrighty, y'all. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever y'all are watching this. Whether you're watching it live or watching it after the fact, I appreciate y'all. Thank you all for stopping by. So a few things I wanted to talk about before we get into anything, and let me fix my camera a little bit. I rearranged my desk and I moved stuff around, moved my microphone back to where it was. Well, kind of my microphone back is not exactly where it was, but I didn't like the audio coming out of where the microphone was before, and also it scuffed one of my videos, so that was kind of not great as well. So I kind of moved it back, and hopefully this works out. I don't know if it was a microphone necessarily, and it could have also been OBS having the wrong filters and stuff like that because of how far the mic was away, but I think it sounds a lot better when it's closer, so it is what it is. So a couple things here. First off, I'm not going to be live on Thursday, so the Thursday that I would normally stream after this one, and I don't think so on Tuesday either. We have people coming over, family coming over to stay for about a week, so I won't have time. They'll be sleeping basically behind me. This is our spare bedroom whenever people need to stay over, so I won't be able to stream in the morning because obviously I don't want to wake someone up at 6 a.m. because I want to live stream. So unfortunately no live streams on Thursday or Tuesday next week, and then hopefully we'll resume again in next week, the week after, on Thursday. Also, if you guys do want access to all of the code that I'm working on, you can hit the membership icon below. I know I keep saying this, but there's a lot of people that keep asking where's the code. So if you do want to support the channel and get access to that, you can go ahead and hit that button. Of course, if you don't want to support or whatever, that's completely fine. You can just kind of follow along and kind of debug as you go. I do ask that if you do, click that membership icon, there is a post that only members can see on my channel. Go onto that post and make sure you comment on it, your GitHub username. Otherwise, I won't be able to add you to the repository because it is a private repository. And I'm also working on a big tutorial coming soon. Again, I've kind of talked about this a little bit. The big tutorial is going to be free on YouTube, so you will be able to watch the entire tutorial. Probably going to be a pretty long one. But if you do want to purchase the repository and purchase all of the notes and plans and everything like that, it is going to be purchasable through the membership. I'm also possibly thinking, and it's going to be a special membership, by the way, I'm also possibly thinking of doing like Udemy or another site like that if people would rather just have like a one-time purchase on Udemy. But I mean, the thing is after you have a membership for 1 month, you can just end the membership and you don't have to pay it. It's just like a one-time thing. Then you have lifetime access to the repository. So it is what it is. You guys can decide what you want to do. But with that being said, we're going to work on the post feed page again. Once we kind of get creating posts done, we're going to switch over to profile page, I think, because we're going to do a bunch of stuff to make tweets work, like actually being able to follow people and all of that. So after we get post working and being able to make post, I'm going to display the post on the profile page first, and then I'm going to go through and set up the following and stuff like that we can follow people, and then we'll go through and get the feed page working, because the feed page is really predicated on people following other people and things like that. For the feed page and the following and stuff like that and notifications, I think we're gonna need a some sort of messaging queue probably. We'll probably end up using like RabbitMQ or something, or I think there's RabbitMQ. I don't know if that's made by Apache or not, but we're probably going to use like a messaging queue and send messages to every single client that has someone like follow them, make a post or whatever. So we're going to look into that, and yeah, so that's kind of like where we're standing. So we left off with our application looking like this. So we can click on this. Clicking on this doesn't do anything, so we need to change the text. And also, if you go to Twitter, it also changes the color. So if you click on this, it says everyone. If you click on this, it says circle. And we might need to add one extra one where circle can reply. but that'll be pretty easy. If we inspect this, we need this color of green. I'm gonna see if I can get this green color. Link it. So here we go. So here is our button, and there's the green. All right, so we'll need this green. So basically what we need to do is whenever someone clicks on one of these, we need to change the text inside and kind of go from there. So let's see what we can do here. So where does it says choose audience, and then it's either going to say everyone or it's going to say circle. So what we can do is let's do this. Let's get an on click going. We have a set selection. Let's say const handle change selection, like so. And what we'll do is, let me think. So we'll put this change selection, we'll take in the E, and this will be a click event. So this will be a React.mouse event, and this is going to be on a div. So it'll be HTML div element. And what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to put an ID on each of these choices. So on this this guy, let's see if selection is everyone. Is this what actually displays those? A question, because that's the drop down choice. Oh, it's right here. So, but yes, we do want the click on here, so we'll add an on click. Or do we want it on the div? Because let's put it on the entire div itself. We want it, I'm gonna try it on this choice, and then if it doesn't work on this choice, we're gonna put the on click here. On click equal to, and this is gonna be handle change selection. And we're also going to add a div to this, or not a div, an ID. This will be ID equal to, and this is going to be everyone. And we're going to do the same thing on this drop down choice. So this one's going to be ID equal to circle. And this one will also have an on click. So then what we can basically do is first we can just console.log, say like selected, colon, then we can say comma e.target. We should be able to say like .id. We might have to say e.current target. We should be able to get the ID. Save it. And what we should be able to do now is if we come in here and inspect. Also, this is not responsive, so we should probably do something about that, but I'm not that concerned about it right now. But if you click on it, selected everyone, selected circle. Now what we can do is we can select which one is active. So basically what we'll say is we'll say set selected. Set selection will be e.currentTarget.id, except what we'll have to do is we'll have to make, because we're looking for uppercase, so we'll have to say everyone and circle, which not that big of a deal. Typically I don't like doing uppercase in this, but it is what it is. We won't see anything for the time being, so we'd have to do is we'd have to kind of wrap this, and what we'll say is selection equal to, and we can just say like everyone question mark, and it'll say everyone, otherwise it'll say circles. And this needs to be a string. And I think it just says circle. I could be wrong. Now the issue is going to be that I think we're going to have to to click on the right thing. So now we should be able to change this, right? And we might need to do space between on this. I think on the real Twitter, it's kind of spaced. Well, is it spaced between? No, I think it's just centered, so I think that's fine. Okay. Now we need to change the entire color. It doesn't have a blue background, does it? Gray, right? Yeah, so we're going to change the div. So I think what we'll do is we'll say, we'll have another selection here. We'll do this, or not another selection, but we'll say selection equal to everyone. Question mark, feed, post, creator, audience, and then everyone. I guess we'll do it like this. I don't love this, but it is what it is. And then this will be circle. I don't love doing it this way, but I want to try to keep these pretty specific. So now this is going to break a bunch of stuff. I might want to use the correct stuff. So now inside of our CSS, which one was this? This was the creator-audience. Maybe I do just say .everyone and .circle, because I don't want to mess all this up. So I guess I'm gonna do this. I don't love this because the thing is what if I use everyone or circle somewhere else? But I think it'll probably be fine. So everyone will have color of this. Then the border color of this. And I think the rest of this is fine. So if we come back into Footer, circle's broken, but if we click on everyone, that's good. And then obviously if it's circle, it's broken. So basically all we need to do is just copy, and I lost the color that I needed. Shoot. So let's go back into the real Twitter and grab the color that we need. I don't know why my computer is being like this morning. I think I need to clean it again. It's being super sluggish this morning. So the color would be that, and the border would be this. So now if we come back into Footer, everyone looks like this. Circle is missing the border because we need to add 1px solid. There we go. There's our circle, there's our everyone, and now we need to actually make this change the post. So we need to modify post and a couple other things, unfortunately, which we can do fairly simply. So let's do this. So what I'm going to go and do is go into, I might need to change the ordering of this. And let's see, it's going to be in data. No, get where it's in utils, right? Utils, global interfaces. So post needs to be updated in global interfaces for that also have circle for reply restriction, I guess. So I'm gonna go ahead and just add it after follow. Then we need to remember to circle. So we need to remember to add this to the backend. So I'm going to make note of that. So I'm going to say this should be 17, I think. 17, update the post interface to include, and this will include circle as a reply restriction. We'll do that. And then I need to make a note on here. Make sure to update the back end reply restriction enum to include circle. So I'll come back to that whenever we start working on the back end again. Although we should probably do that ASAP. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I'm going to go ahead and do that right away. 18 updates the reply restriction enum to include circle. That's not that big of a deal because it'll just recompile anyway. So clear this out for now. Get a reply restriction here. So we'll add circle after this. And we'll just copy this and throw it in here. That's a really easy fix. Cool. Alrighty. So now we got our reply restriction set up. The reason why we need to do that was so we can update our dispatch stuff. So we need let's go to our feed post creator. I always forget how to use this. Body is broken now. Terrific. Circle is not assignable to type. Should be. I changed. Oh, it's because of our. I bet it's because of our Redux. I would imagine. Is our Redux slice broken? Let's see. Yes, it is. So we'll add circle here. Yep, and that fixed it. So now we also need to update our Redux slice. On 19, update the Redux slice. Update. There we go. Cool. Now we can actually use Redux. So back into our post feed creator. Grab our state and dispatch. And come in here. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to update the post to include this. And then basically our other stuff can read from said state. And then it can know, okay, this is what we need to set up here. So we'll set this up. And I believe there should be like an update post. There's a create post, initialize, and update. Yes, and then we pass in the value and everything we want to update. So what we want to do is on selection or handle change selection, we're going to want to dispatch. So we're going to need to grab the although never mind, it's going to come from, let me double check, feed post creator. Whenever we set it up, we can just say do dispatch initialize current post. Did we have to import this? Okay, we do have to import it. Okay, so we will go ahead and import that as well. I don't know why I said object. We'll import, update, post, update current post. And so whenever we handle selection, we're going to dispatch. We're going to dispatch and update current post. And what we'll do is do one of these. And this needs to take in a property. So let's look at the... So it takes in a name and a value. So the name is going to be audience. And the value is going to depend on what the selection is. So e.target, and I think we could probably say like e.target, actually it's going to be current target, e.current_target.id.to uppercase basically. And that should do it. So now anytime, theoretically, anytime that we click on the button or click on one of those options, it should update and we should be able to kind of change options inside of other stuff. So I'm going to open this up on Twitter, and I think that's all old. Okay, cool. We go into Redux and take a look at our state. So our post has nothing in it basically, no post, no nothing. We click on this, it should initialize a post. So if we go into our, this should have a current post in it. Current post is empty. It does have our author filled out like it's supposed to. Everyone is the audience. So if we click on circle, it changes the circle. We click on everyone, it changes to everyone. Pretty simple. Circle, I don't know what this edit circle is going to do. I need to be able to make the singular edit thing clickable, I think. And I don't know if whenever you go to circle, it does kind of do a highlight. So I need to look into that, I guess. And we can do that really quick. And this goes to members and this opens up another tweet. Okay. Or opens up a modal. So we'll have to deal with that. I'm not going to build that right now because I don't think it's that important. But I can go ahead and do the hover effect on this. That's not a big deal. And this is working as I expect. So the hover effect will be super simple. So all we gotta do is go to this span that says edit and grab this. Go into our CSS. It's probably down here. We're gonna say :hover, and I don't know what this is gonna look like, but we'll say background color, and this is like a pretty dark hover effect, I feel like, all things considered. So it's a darker version of, let's say, RGBA. So I think I'm thinking we take the color that we've been using, although we've just been using this, huh? That's a box shadow. Here, I think we take this guy and make it slightly darker, maybe. I think this is the color of... Never mind, that's a blue. Shoot. And we might need to change this. We might need to say .everyone :hover and copy this color. We might need to take a look at what the hover color is for the circle. Never thought about that. Yeah, it's a green color. Can I get the hover color on this? Well, I guess I could probably just take this RGB and say RGBA probably. So I can probably just say this, take this RGB, slap an A on it, and make it like 0.1. Background color, RGBA, and let's slap like a 0.1 on it. Could also slap cursor pointer. Let's see. A little dark. 0.1 is kind of dark, dang. Say 0.05. This might be one of those colors I found with like Tailwind. Some of the colors don't really darken that well. I think that looks good. Yeah, okay. So, okay, we need to get this. I want this background color of. I want the hover background color for the entire thing, I think. So I think we're gonna need this one. F8, F8, F8. And I think we're gonna need to turn it into RGBA. So we'll just say hex to RGB converter. And we'll throw that guy in there. Convert. Grab this guy. And we'll say RGBA. And we'll say like, although that might be too light, we might just think we need to go back to black again, 0, 0, 0, and go like 0.2 or something. And 0.2 might be way too dark still. Yeah, like 0.1 or 0.15 or something. I think 0.15. And we need to set up like the border radius and all of that stuff. Okay. I can live with that. Now, instead of margin left, I guess, we're just gonna make this bigger. We're gonna have to wrap this in like a div or something stupid, aren't we? So we could say like width equal to like, I don't know, 24px or whatever. But I think this is the span. But I don't think it's gonna do what we want actually. Because, yeah, it's the span. That didn't actually do anything. Let's see what this looks like. Take a look at the actual element. Width 24 does nothing, because width does not affect because display inline. Okay. So, how are we gonna fill this? I don't want to turn these into divs really, but I might have to. What I might have to do is I might have to take this p tag and turn it into a div, and then turn each one of these spans into a p tag, basically. Which I think will be fine if I say div and div, and then e, 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 and then I guess just turn this into a p tag as well. Now the thing is, it's going to be broken. So we need to say flex, basically. Although I think... No, I think it says circle, then it has the line across. So basically, we'd have to take this feed creator audience drop-down circle. info, is that what it was called? We have to take this info and say display flex. We need to get rid of this color, and we'll have to put the color on something else. We'll deal with that in a second. So let's see. Okay, now it's kind of jank right now. Supposed to look like this. 0 people edit, and the check mark. So let's see here. We'll say justify content. Probably flex start this, and then align items center. And okay. So let's see what's going on with this. So here's our creator audience. Oh, definitely too low on there. Needs to be brought up. Yeah, this is just an entire div. Let's set a height and width, I guess. This circle might be messing with stuff. Entire thing is scuffed now, so that's cool. Let's add a height, I guess. I don't even know what the height would be. Not very big, I can tell you that. This one actually seems, this box actually seems bigger than the box that I have set up. It says 260 by 192, which I think is what I have. 260, well actually no, 260 by 168. Let's say 192. See what happens. I broke it. That's because I forgot to put a height on there. Get rid of that. Looks a lot better, okay. Now I just need to space it out. So what if we say, I'm scared to do width 100%. I feel like that's gonna expand it too far. It didn't do anything. Love to see it. There we go. Let's see. So, let's set a width to, this guy is 40 by 40. And then this guy is 18 by 18. That's 60. Let's say like 60 minus our 260. So let's say the width is like 190, just to give us a little bit of space on the left and right. I didn't change a single thing. You love to see it. Although the info is bigger now. It's too big though. So we're going to make this smaller. Let's say like 150. What does 150 look like? Again, this still isn't really doing. Thanks, Sigma. I think that looks okay. Now we need a space between, and we need to make this smaller. The height is too big. The height can just be like fit content. That did not make it any smaller. The height is way too big, and it might be the people tag Although people shouldn't have any... The height only needs to be... How tall is this? Like this is... It's this people tag that has a bunch of margin on what's going on. So I'll make this class name equal to p-post-creator -audience -dropdown -circle -people. And I'll get rid of this stupid... Pretty sure it's not even supposed to be there for one thing, but and this will say margin 0. Go. We might want to put some spacing on there, but we can add it through padding and whatnot. Then adding top and bottom. Okay, so it's not spaced like super far apart, and honestly, it's more like... Aw, man. Now I need to kind of wrap. Well, I guess I can just throw edit into like its own thing, I suppose. Not edit into its own thing, but I could still do... Like, edit is its own thing, right? Whoops. So edit is just its own p tag. So edit, I could up the width probably. What if I say width like 36 pixels? I'm scared I want to put a background on edit. Yeah, because this is... So edit, adding width to this is not changing a thing. Like 100 px. Guess it is slightly bigger. So if I make it like 30, slightly bigger, 48. That's too big. Let's make it 40 maybe. So we'll make it 40 px. It is bigger. And we can throw display flex on there. We'll say 40 px. How's it going, Viking? And we can say display is flex, justify content is center, and align items are center. And that moves it. We might need to move it a little bit more, but we can still add margin. Let's make the height a little bit taller as well. I think there's a little extra height on it. We take a look at it. Yeah, there's a little bit of like padding in there. So maybe we, or what we could do instead of doing width, we can add a bunch of padding to the left and right, and then the top and the bottom. What we could do instead is, instead of making the width and height, we'll still add the flex and everything, but we can say padding, and I always forget the order of this, but we can do something like padding 12 px and 10 px or something, and we'll see what this looks like. This is ours. So that's obviously way too big. So 12 went on the top, 10 went on the sides. So I want 12 on the sides. Let's come back into here and put 12 on the sides. So 12 will go left and right. And then maybe we do like 8 pixels on the top. And let's see what this looks like. That's still a little bit big. The sides, though, aren't horrible. Top and bottom needs to be like 4 or something. Can't find the live streams. So they should be uploaded on the channel. If you give me one moment, that might be okay. Still think that the height is probably too much. So let's see. The height is still a little bit much. Maybe 2 pixels and maybe 10 pixels on the sides. And then I'm gonna put a border radius of like 12 px or something. A little bit too much border radius. I'm gonna say border radius of 8 maybe. I'm on a roll, so I'd like to get this done. Let's say 10. Okay, that looks a little bit better. And I think that we still need space beside. Never mind, there's no space beside. People is definitely broken still. So let's come back in here and for people, we'll have the font weight at 400. And the color needs to be this color. Delete this, delete that. We might need to change the font size. I think that's good. Alright. So on YouTube, give me one moment. So obviously we see that I'm live, but they're uploaded through here. So I haven't like quote unquote archived the stream. I just re-upload them as like videos basically. That way I can cut out all of the intermissions and everything. But all the streams are under videos basically. So if you were curious where they're at. Alright, cool. Hopefully that helps you out. Alright, so now this is working. Edit will have to have something that you can click on basically. But there's that. So now I think that's good to go. And it even changes the state and everything in Redux. So now we need to do the reply stuff basically and all of that good stuff. So I think we can go ahead and I'm gonna call that good. There might be some small issues with it, I don't know. We'll see. So now for number 20. Oh, I understand, yeah. I was putting them in the live stream section, but I feel like whenever I had them in the live stream section, people weren't really finding them as easily as just like seeing them on channel under videos. That, and it also helps people out with not having to sit through all, like whenever I get up to stretch my legs after an hour and stuff like that. So more or less, I'm trying to make the live stream post viewing experience a lot better for people. That way they don't have to sit down and to sift through a bunch of stuff. So there's that. Then 21, we'll do the CSS. 21, add the CSS. And we'll add this. This is kind of a mess, but gets the job done. There's probably a lot of refactoring I could do. And then for 22, add that to, I mean, I'm not going to say that because I add it anyway by default. Number 22 will be extract. We want to extract. Close out of this. Go back to feed post creator. We want to extract the fly section. extract the reply section. And we'll say into a new component. And this one we're going to have to experiment with as well. So, let's see. And I might end up renaming this like feed into like just posts and like move some stuff around as well. We'll see. Say feed, post, and this is reply restriction. Drop down. We'll make a new file. This will be feed post reply restriction. Drop down.tsx. And a new file. Feed post reply restriction drop down. CSS. Alright, and we'll just import React from React. We'll probably need state, I would imagine. So I'll grab use state as well. And then, what else do we need? You know what we also could have done? Dang it, now I'm going to have to go back through and copy paste the other one. But what I'm going to go ahead and do also inside of our audience dropdown, I'm going to do one more thing. I'm also going to dispatch a update current post, and the name will be reply restriction. And the reply restriction is going to be value will be circle. Ooh. Although we only want to do that if the selection is circle. So we'll say if the selection, so if e.currentTarget.id is equal to circle, then we're going to go ahead and say, hey, make sure we update this to circle. Because that's going to be important for the other drop down in a second. Let's fix that as well. Okay. And let's double check that that's working. Of course, I broke it. Oh, we need to fix this first. Go ahead and export the feed post by restriction drop down React.function components equal to first return a div for now. For const div class name equal to feed dash post dash reply dash restriction dash drop down. CSS class names are getting a little bit wild, but it is what it is. Alright, this should stop complaining. I want to go back to our Redux and our state. I can't see anything. Our state. So if we click on this and go to circle, our current post, go into post, current post, so our audience should be circle and reply restrictions. That's going to be important because we're going to generate different stuff based on what the reply restriction is as well. So that'll be useful here. So let's see. The first thing I want to go ahead and do is I just want to grab it from feed post creator. That means you need to set something up inside of your this guy. So if you're having cores issues, it's gonna be inside your config, and you need to set up. Where is it at? you just set up this basically. So this chorus configuration source and chorus.disabled set up this configuration. So I would take a screenshot of this. I'll leave it up for like 2 seconds. But this is why you're having chorus issues, because the it's locked down basically. Also add chorus to your chorus to everything in your controllers. But we had chorus errors like one of the last live streams as well. Right, also, you can pause the video as well for the live stream. So, back to what we're trying to work on. So, I'm going to get rid of the audience drop down. I don't think we need it anymore. So, I'm going to grab this guy out of here. I'm guessing there's going to be other SVGs and stuff we're going to have to get. So let's paste this in here. We're gonna get rid of this div. We'll grab this globe SVG. Then we can import this whole thing straight into, well, it's gonna break though, but we can go ahead and import this, I guess. Feed post creator. Not gonna look right to start out, so keep that in mind. And I'll do this and this. We'll see if it breaks everything. Yes, it did. But does it hide it at least whenever refresh? Okay, it's fine that it's broken, because all we gotta do is go into the feed post creator CSS and grab, yo, thanks for the subscription. Appreciate you, Taz. So we need to go into, where is the thing that we're looking for? Create a reply, I think is what we are looking for. We'll throw this into here. If we're gonna rename this to feed reply restriction dropdown. And the same thing here. And this should, fingers crossed, at least get us back to where we were. Or that we need to import the CSS. / feed post by restriction down. Okay, we're back to where we were. So here's the thing we need to go through, and we're going to probably need to add a bunch of SVGs and stuff like that. But I'm gonna go ahead and import use selector and use dispatch. And then I'm also going to bring in the app state, import, and I forgot what I called this. Is it just app state? I always forget what I call this stuff. Okay, we need the app dispatch and state from the Redux store. And we'll also need the import and the update current post. Okay. And going to yoink a little bit more code. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the state. Although all I really care about in this one is the speed. I mean, if I want to, I could say root state, and I could return state.post. That's all I really care about for this one specifically. So basically what we're going to want to do, we might set up a function to kind of do this because it's going to be more or less a switch statement. Depending, like, it's going to depend on, the switch statement will depend on whatever we pass in. So for example, on whenever we do this, it says you can only your Twitter circle can reply. Whenever we go to everyone, you click on people you follow. So at least the color is the same. So that's good. The color stays the same, so we don't have to deal with all of that. So that's a good sign. The only thing that's going to change is if it's circle, it's going to be grayed out, basically. So let's go ahead and start with this. We might end up making this a function in utils or something. I'm not 100% sure. But what we could do is make a switch. We can switch on state dot. Maybe we can do a switch. We might have to make a function. Function get button text, and we'll just do this. And I'm going to take a small break, and I will be right back. And then after I take my break, we will finish up, fingers crossed, this reply restriction dropdown. And then next week, we can start working on getting posts actually onto the profile page. But small break, I'll be right back, y'all. Sorry about the little bit of a wait. So now what we need to do is get the button text and kind of go from there. So we're going to switch on the reply state. So this is going to just return some text, I guess. So we'll switch. This is going to be on state.current post question mark dot, and this will be reply restriction. And the reason why I put a question mark there is because technically it could be not there, but it'll be everyone. So case everyone. Then we have, we'll say return string. And then we'll have case. Next one would be follow. And this one return string. Then we'd have case, whoops, and some string. We'd have case for circle. We'd return some string. Now circle is going to have a little bit of a different, I don't want to say consequence, but circle is going to be slightly different. We might actually make an entire element for this specifically. We'll see. I'm not sure what we're going to do about this because string technically needs a separate, or circle needs something different. And then the last case will be mention. We'll return some string. And what I might end up doing, then by default we just won't have anything. And now this would be like, we could call get button text. Except now what I'm thinking is maybe we set this up as its own component type thing, and or at least have this kind of return its own component that has special classes, because we're gonna need a class that's like grayed out, inactive. We're gonna need a class that's not inactive. But if we come back in here, we're not returning anything, so we need to get the actual. So whenever it's circle, it's gonna say only your Twitter circle. So for circle, going to return only your, let's say, Twitter circle and reply. And then if we go back to everyone, so everyone, we'll just say everyone can reply. And this also needs like a globe. So yeah, we might make this function into its own component. See? Then if we do people you follow, it'll say people you follow. And reply. And then mention is going to say like only people you mention. Yep. Only people you mention. Those are the options for button text. So now if we come here, it says everyone can reply. It's going to change based on whatever you shove in there. Now what I'm thinking is maybe we turn this into a div that so maybe I'm thinking maybe we turn this into a div. So because we need the globe SVG and we need a couple other SVGs. So we need, I don't know if that @ symbol is an SVG or not. But so like everyone is just globe, no big deal. The people you follow is another SVG. Go ahead and copy this element and make a follow SVG. Maybe I shouldn't call it follow SVG. People you follow svg.tsx. Import our SVG props. Then we'll export alt function people you follow SVG, and props will be props earned SVG. Rid of this class. Height will equal to props.height. Width will equal to shows props.height. Width props.width. This up, that, and then on the path we need a fill equal to, this will be color question mark. There's a color, it'll be that. Otherwise, I guess it'll be props.color for 0, 0, 0. Pound sign. Okay, that. So say to create the people you follow SVG. Need to spell it right. Rename this. Cool. Well, go. Not spelled properly anyway. Go ahead and throw that in there. Then we need to create 23. mentioned SVG. And you need to create mentioned SVG. So let's grab the mentioned SVG. So go ahead and make a new file. Mentioned svg.tsx. Import React. We need the SVG props from global interfaces and export default and function. And this is going to say mentioned SVG. We'll take in props of SVG props. Turn. We'll grab this. So come back into X or Twitter. And so we have follow. We already have globe. Now we need people you mention. It is an SVG. Copy the element. Paste it in there. Get rid of our class. We don't. Here we go. Now we'll have a height equal to props.height width equal to props.width, and on the path we'll have a fill equal to color props.color question mark. So if we have a color, it'll be props.color. Otherwise, it'll be just black by default. And that one is done. And then we're going to need a circle. Circle reply SVG. So circle reply SVG, if we go into here and we say circle, it's going to be like a lock icon, I guess. So I'm just going to call this lock SVG. So I'm going to make a new, so let's say 24. 8 get lock SVG. Okay, and make a new file. Lock.svg. Lock SVG. Lock SVG.tsx. Import our SVG props and export default function lock SVG. We'll take in props of SVG props. Turn. Did I copy it? No, I did not. Go ahead and copy this guy. Copy the SVG. Get rid of the class. It up. Cool. Alright, so now we have everything we need, but we will in a second. Oh, and I got this from the wrong place. // utils / global interfaces, and we'll say height equal to props.height width equal props.width, and we'll have a fill equal to props.color question mark props.color. Otherwise it'll just be black. So there is that one. So lock SVG. Alright, so now let's think about this. So basically what I'm thinking is we're gonna take stuff. So we have a button, right? We need to generate a button based on whatever. And it needs to have an on click or not have an on. Now the upside of just throwing the function in here would be that we don't have to pass a function through props, which would be nice, I guess. But at the same time, I'm not that concerned about passing a function through props. I guess I'll make a new component. That means we're going to have to change basically everything. But, oh well. We're going to say feed, post, feed, post. I probably should put creator on this. But we'll say feed, post, reply, restriction, button. And maybe this should go into a utils folder. Maybe that's what I should do. Make a new file or a new folder, call it utils. And I'll say new file. And I'll say feed creator utils.tsx. And I'll do it in here instead. So the only thing that's going to be a little bit wonky is we're going to have to pass in a function to this. But I think I can make it work. So I'm going to say, we're going to come into this utils, maybe. We're going to clear this. Shouldn't have done. I'll go ahead and paste this. Export the function. Now, obviously, this is going to break because we need to pass stuff, but fine. So, just thinking for a second how I want to do this. I think it'll be fine. I'll grab the globe as well. Clear this out. Clear this out. So this is going to take in the state and the callback. And this will just be, state will be a, what is state? We need to grab the slice, post slice state here, so that means we'll import it. Export the post slice state. This will be a post slice. Callback will be a void. I have to do it like void. How do you pass void function? Let's see. Brain doesn't work this morning. TS pass function as parameter. Do. This, I guess. Doesn't like it. Expected. Oh, state returns void. The callback. Well, it won't matter. I don't think the callback will matter, because all I care about is being able to call the callback from whatever. Although it might be helpful to have. You can't use, although this will be technically a, I mean, this can be a JSX element. Does that have to be like this? JSX dot. Yeah. If I could type, that'd be cool. This might let us use state directly in here, but although we can put an ID on these, and I can get. This is what I'm going to do instead. I'm not going to do it like this. I'm going to say E. No, this doesn't even matter. I don't need a callback on this. Because we're not... Well, I guess we will be clicking it, but all it's going to be doing is toggling the modal on and off. So I don't need to worry about that. This is just going to call a set state, basically. I'm not concerned about this. The logic will be handled inside the actual. But we do want this to be a JSX element. So here we will return. Everyone will return a div. Wrap this in a div. And these all basically have the same style on them, what I remember. So we need the feed post. I'm gonna rename this a drop down button or something, because that's really what it is. And inside it'll say everyone can reply. I think we need the globe icon. And figure out what the height and width was. I deleted this. Use a return. Let's do this. We'll just wrap these real quick. This should stop complaining. And then we might also need a default case where it just returns an empty one. We'll see if it complains or not. We need a default case. By default, return empty. Do I need this? Yeah. So now, side of this guy, I'm gonna rename this to drop down button. Probably gonna break some things. Although, let's see. Okay, I did put the class name on that. So let's see what happens. Just a drop down button. Just a drop down button. And we'll get rid of this. Don't need that drop down there anyway. We will delete that. And what we'll do is we'll pass in this util function. So get button. We're going to say get drop down button. We're going to say get reply drop down button because that's what it actually is. This, we'll do this, and we'll do this. We'll do this. Import this. We need to pass in the state, and we need to pass in a callback. For now, it's just going to say console.log, and we'll say open the. That's all that one's going to do, is just open and close the mode. So by default, we only have two options. It should say right now, everyone can reply. Seems to be broken, so that's cool. So why is hover definitely broken? CSS. We have to put hover on here. Everyone can reply. We change this to circle. Only your footer circle can. Okay. That's not great. So let's add a use effect on here. Because it didn't update. We're gonna watch state.currentPost. We're gonna watch the audience and state.currentPost. Restriction. Didn't re-render when it shipped. Everyone, circle. Oh, wait, no, that should be current post changed to everyone. Why are you not getting recalled? Interesting. Post, current post, circle, reply restriction is circle. Ah, shoot. We need to change this back. If we go to everyone, we need to change it back to everyone. Okay. So that means back inside of our audience dropdown, we don't want this if statement. We actually just want to say basically the same thing we said here. We'll get rid of this if statement. And we'll say value is equal to the same thing as this. It wasn't actually changing. Refresh. Everyone, circle. Everyone, circle. Everyone. Okay. Now we're good. Let's fix this inside of our walkthrough. I grab the entire handle change. Okay. Okay, that shouldn't be an issue. I don't think we need this now. Circle. Everyone. Okay. So now, what we can do is... The problem is that we need the actual modal to control get reply dropdown to really be able to tell what's going on. I can do a little bit of work on this though. So in the util, go ahead and so all of these divs other than circle will be the same, which is nice at least. But at least we don't have to deal with a whole bunch of different things. And circle is just basically disabled. So I can say like, oh, this is disabled. Shouldn't have done it. Let's see. Copy this. Put it inside here. Then wrap this out of a... We might not get this completely done. But alright. So this one is going to be people you follow SVG. So people Follow SVG. Height will be 14. Width will be 14. Color will be the Twitter blue. And circle will be slightly different, so I'll do circle later. Or not later, but after I do these. And then we have this one, so return. We'll grab our div. Copy this part. This is going to be mention. Now we need mention SVG. Copy this half. Okay, and then what we'll do for circle is we're going to make a new class. This. Copy this. So for circle, we're going to have drop down button, but we're also going to have dash. I'm going to say dash disabled. And this will be circle, I think. Circle SVG. I believe that's what it uses. I'll have to double check. This will be circles SVG, and only your footer circle can reply. So this one's lock, isn't it? Lock SVG. And this one's going to be slightly different. So this one won't have a hover. Go into the CSS. So here's the thing. It needs to be the same height with everything. It's only one though. So I mean, I'm just going to copy all this. It'll be fine. I'm sure that I already have this RGBA, but I'm going to grab it anyway. I have it somewhere. Might even be the one that's right there in front of my face. Is this the same? It is. Of course it is. We're going to say A, and we're going to say like 0.5. And yeah, so this one won't have a pointer. You won't be able to click on it. I'm not going to put the on click on it. So if you go into footer, you go into circle. So this one, we need to make the width longer. We say fit content on this instead. Just, or is that gonna scuff everything? Ooh, and we need to change the color of the lock to this. Yeah, the issue now is that we need more padding on the left and right. So what we'll do is we have 2 padding right now. So we'll say padding 2 pixels, and then on the left and right maybe like 8 pixels. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I like that. We'll do that. And basically, we go back to circles. Nothing. Can't do anything with it. Although we might say cursor. Cursor. We want auto. Because I don't want the highlight. I just want the pokey guy. Yeah, whatever an auto might. I want CSS cursor triangle. Help. Wait. Crosshair. What are the different ones we have? Cursor. Auto. Cursor. What is the normal style? What is the normal cursor CSS? Dang it. I don't want that. I want... So it looks like default is what I want. Try default. That's better. So you can't click anything whenever it's circle. Whenever you do audience, you can click on it, and whenever we click on it, we'll have a toggle for the drop down. So what we need to do is inside of our util on every one except for the circle, we'll go ahead and say on click is equal to our callback. So grab these. We can create our callback. But I think this is about all we need for a get reply dropdown. I'm gonna copy this. Get rid of this extra SVP. And we didn't need the post slice. Oh, we do need a post slice state. Copy this. Save, and we'll say we're 25. Create a utility file function to calculate the button for the dropdown. That in there. Cool. And now in here we will. Now we can finally start creating this thing. So now on click is going to have a use state, and the state will be const I'm going to say active and set active equal to use states boolean and false. And now basically we'll say const handle open modal or handle I'm gonna say open modal, and this is just going to say set active to not active. And now whenever we click, now what we'll do is we'll pass this callback function to our state. So we'll just say, okay, here's our callback function. So we need to get rid of this. So our callback function will call open handle modal, and we can also say console.log. Let's make sure we are setting active. So we can actually test that as well. So we can say, okay, go to our console, click on this, setting active. If we go into circle, can't click on it. Why? Because it's disabled. On this, we can open up that modal. Cool. So that's good. Now we can actually start working on the drop down itself. Let's see how big this drop down is. Guessing this one's going to be slightly bigger. If I could get it, that'd be cool. How big are you? This guy is 320 by... Guessing that's the height is 320 by 264. Okay. That seems like it's not the entire thing. 320 by 284. I'm going to say 320 by 290. So 320 by 290. So I'm going to go ahead and make a div. Class name equal to feed dash post dash reply dash restriction dash drop down dash modal. And I'm gonna go ahead and grab that 320 by 290. So width 290 px, height 320 px. Gonna look like doo-doo right now. Can't see anything, so it's fine. Oh, never mind, it's right there. So we're gonna have to basically do the same logic we did inside of the feed post creator audience dropdown. So if we put these side by side, grab the CSS for this. Oh, might be open. Thing here. Need for the time being. Grab CSS for so basically what we did was we have our actual drop down, which has a display block or display none depending on whether or not. So what we'll do, and we might also need to look at this feed post creator audience. So feed post creator audience does have position relative. So we need to grab this feed post reply restriction drop down. We're gonna need to put, I'm just gonna basically say this. And I don't know if it needs a height and width. Basically, all I want to say is position relative, I think. Let's see if this breaks anything. No, it's fine. Cool. So position relative, and we might just literally say height is fit content and width is fit content, just to play it safe. I don't think we need display flex or anything like that. I think we just need to make sure that the position is relative, and that should be good. Now the drop down itself. So here's our modal. So position is going to be absolute. And we can try this same exact formula. Transform, background color white. We'll copy all of this as well. Save. And do we get anything? Yes, we do. There we go. So now what we want to do is turn it on and off whenever we click on it. So basically, we'll do the same thing we did here. So we'll say if it's active, just throw the style on there, and if it's active, we'll show it. If not, we won't. So down here, we want this modal. We'll just add the style. I'll do this actually, and I'm gonna make it a little bit cleaner. Do that. Do that. Okay. So now, if active, let's refresh. Not active, we click on it, it's active, we can make it turn on and off. This will have all of our information on there. Cool, so I think that's about where we're going to leave it at, because we need to go through and set up a bunch of stuff similar to this, where we have like all these different options, except I think fortunately this one's pretty well. I guess it's actually the same. Well, not the same, but it's very similar to the other one. So it shouldn't be too hard to set this up. It's going to be basically pretty similar to the other one. Hopefully this is about the right size. I'm not sure if it is or not. Again, it's not going to be perfect because it's not a real thing, quote unquote. So I feel like this is not quite the right size. Positioning is weird. 290 by 320. Check this. I might have these back. 320 by 284. We need to swap these. Easy enough fix. This one 290. 290 is a little bit bigger than what it is, but I like round numbers, so it is what it is. That should be basically the same. The position is weird because I've gotten it basically centered underneath this. But yeah, so I think that's gonna do it. I'm gonna call it here for the day. I didn't quite get as much done as I wanted. We got this done, so this is working. And we go back to everyone. We can click on this. We're gonna be able to choose who can reply to our tweet. And then after that, we'll figure out how to do the media. GIFs will be pretty easy. We're just going to use like Tenor or something around those lines. Polls, we're going to have to modify the backend, so I might not mess with those immediately. Emojis should be pretty easy as well. We just need to get a JSON of all of the emojis that are quote unquote available, and that'll be pretty easy. Schedule will probably just pop up a calendar view. I'm assuming that's what Twitter does. And I'm sure there's really easy ways to get a calendar view, although Twitter's is probably a custom calendar, I'm sure. Schedule, oh, never mind. It's your time. Okay, well, I'll deal with that at a different time. Just another modal to fill crap out in. Don't know how to do like the hover effect where it has like, I mean, I'm sure that you could probably find if an element is hovered and then into it, but I'm not that concerned about that part of it. But yeah, so we're gonna get the reply working, reply restriction working, and then we'll deal with adding images, looking at GIFs. GIFs will probably be pretty simple. Whenever you just click on it, you'll probably just add it like an image, no big deal. Polls, I'm not sure. And the other stuff will be pretty simple, like this one will be pretty simple. Bad. So that being said, I think I am going to end it because it seems like a pretty good spot to chill at. Thank you all for stopping by. Please enjoy the episodes that I have coming out in the near future. And I'll see you in the next live stream next week sometime.